Hello guys, welcome to the video. My name is Crypt, and in this video we're actually going to begin our series of actually building an advanced Recoil application, okay? So this application is going to have similar functionalities in comparison to iLucity, okay? Of course, it's not going to be as good as iLucity, but you guys can definitely make it as good as iLucity or even better if you guys wish to, okay? So in this video, what we're going to do is we're actually going to install Python. We're going to be programming in Python, okay? Python is a high-level programming language. Python main strengths include its syntax, okay? Include its powerful community, okay? Readability, basically, right? We're gonna go through each one of those things as we write this code. So this video is mostly teaching you guys how to actually make this tab that you're seeing right here, okay? So the beginning of this video is gonna be installing Python, downloading, doing everything we need to do, right? Downloading first, then installing. And then we're gonna actually download PyCharm. I'm using PyCharm. You don't have to use PyCharm. What is PyCharm? PyCharm is basically just an IDE, right? It's on the screen right now what an IDE means, okay? And basically it's just a program that has a bunch of different functionalities that makes your life easier when you code, okay? That's pretty much what an IDE is. You can use a Python shell if you choose. I choose to use PyCharm. You can also use other IDEs such as Guinea, Sublime Text, and Atom, okay? So let's begin. Let's actually go and download Python. All right, so what I did is I went to Google, right, as you guys can see right here, and I typed Python on Google. And the first page that comes along is Welcome to Python. So click on it. When you get to this page, okay, this is what you're gonna see. The Python page doesn't really change much, so this is what you're gonna see, okay? Now, you guys are gonna come over here to downloads. On the downloads page, you guys are gonna download Python 3.10.4. So just click on whatever version is here, right? You guys, of course, by the time you watch this video, there's gonna be a new version. So just click on whatever version is on the screen for you right here. Click on this orange button. I'm actually gonna download it with you guys. I'm not gonna install it though. What you wanna do again is you wanna click install. Now there will be an option for you that specifically says add Python to system environment path. You wanna make sure you check that box. Okay, it's on the screen what it looks like. You wanna make sure you check that. Okay, so check that box. Okay, and then install Python. Now you're gonna download an IDE. Okay, now you can use a Python shell. So once you download Python, you can actually go to your search, Windows search, and when you type Python, you're gonna see Python 3.10 or whatever version you're using at the time, right? And you're gonna see something called idle, right? So you can either use that to program, so you can just use that if you want to, or you can use an IDE. Okay, I don't consider idle an IDE, and I'm not sure if all the developers do consider. I don't think it has a functionality to make an IDE. But basically, I'm just gonna open it for you guys. I'm gonna open the Python 3.9 idle. That's basically how it looks like. And then what you wanna do is you don't wanna code in here. You wanna click on File, New File, and there you go. In this file, you can actually code, right? So what you wanna do is very simple. You wanna, before you start doing anything, you wanna go to File, and then you wanna save. So click on Save, and then you're gonna save it somewhere. So as you guys can see, I have it blah blah blah, right? Now you don't wanna save in the Python directory. You wanna make sure you save it to your desktop or somewhere else, okay? And then you click Save. I'm gonna click Save just for the fun of it. And then here you guys can code. So here you guys are gonna be able to follow me along, right? So if you print hello world right here, if you print hello world right here, and then you go to the top and click run module, and then you click OK, you save it, it's gonna show right there, hello world on the idle shell. Okay, so that's basically how it works. All right, so you're gonna code whatever I tell you guys to code right here, and you guys can run it anytime by pressing F5 or by coming over here to run and run module. Now, if you wish to use an idle, right, which person IDE, I'm sorry, an IDE, which personally I find it best. For your own interest and for my own interest, it's gonna be easier for me to explain to you guys what I'm doing if you use the same IDE I'm using, which is PyCharm. I'm gonna show you guys how to download it right now. So you're gonna go to Google and you're gonna type PyCharm. So as you guys can see, I'm here on Google and I type PyCharm over there on top. And then very simple, it says over here download PyCharm, right? So you can just click right here. Now, if that option doesn't show for you, then just click on the first link. Then you're gonna click over here on download, or over here on the black button right here, or the top right, doesn't matter, either one. And then you wanna download the community version. You do not wanna download professional, okay? Because that's a free trial, and then you're gonna have to pay for it afterwards. You wanna download community. Community is free, so download community. Click download, and then it's gonna start downloading. Now, I recommend personally that you watch before you actually continue this video. You pause this video and then you watch another video explaining to you how to use PyCharm. Just watch like a quick basic video, like 5 minutes long, explaining to you how to use PyCharm, just so you have an idea. Now, of course, you don't have to do it. You're gonna be able to follow along with me, but it's much better for you, more beneficial for your own learning that you actually go ahead and pause this video real quick, open another tab on Google, watch a tutorial on how to learn PyCharm, how to navigate around PyCharm, and then come back to my video. All right, so right here I have PyCharm open. Now I already have PyCharm open. I already have a project file, so a directory, right? And right here I have a layout file, right? But I'm not gonna start from this. I'm gonna start from scratch with you guys. Okay, I'm just showing you guys what a py file looks like. So you guys should actually have a file that looks like that. There's nothing on it, right? So this is what I had before. You guys should have a file that looks empty, that has nothing on it, right? You guys are gonna create a new file. So if you don't know how to create a new file, it's very simple. You're gonna right click on the directory over here. You're gonna go to new Python file, okay? And then boom, gonna be a new file. You type the name of it. So I'm gonna say main. Okay, just an example. Again, I'm not gonna actually code anything in the main file just yet. So for now, I'm just gonna use a new file called layout. Again, the name of my file is layout. Cool. So as you probably guess, in this file we're gonna do layout work. So we're gonna begin our layout and do everything we need to do. Okay. So we're gonna be actually doing our layout using Tinker. Okay, Tinker is a I don't know if that's how you say it, but I believe it is. Either way, it's a Python library. It's a standard library that comes with Python. It's a library that's made to develop GUI. GUI is a graphical user interface. It's basically what you see. This PyCharm is a GUI, right? It's a graphical, right? Something that's graphical, and it's a user interface, right? It's an interface that you can, you know, um, click through stuff. You can do different things in this interface, right? It's basically something that allows you guys to click on on like different options and without having to deal with any code, right? You don't have to deal with like code or anything like that. You just click on something and the program does everything in the background, right? It's very important for you to understand how GUI works, okay? If you don't know, if you don't understand it, I recommend you watch a basic video on how GUI works before you continue this. All right, so let's begin with our imports. So I'm actually gonna begin here very quickly by just doing a little comment and typing out imports. Okay, so I have here something imports. Some people actually just use hashtag. So some people do this. I I honestly don't consider that to be pretty, but you can use either one. You can either do what I did, which is kind of like this, right? Something like that, right? And you can type along here. You can type something else like standard libraries, right? Or you can just use hashtags and be like standard libraries. Either one, you choose. It's fine. Doesn't matter, right? I'm gonna do my way because I prefer. Cool. So let's begin by importing some standard libraries that we're gonna utilize for this video. First of all, as I said, we're gonna import Tinker. So we're gonna do import Tinker as TK. Okay. And we're also gonna import from Tinker. We're gonna import TTK. So from Tinker import TTK. Okay. So Tinker is basically a module, right? It's a library, right? And then I'm gonna import it, right? But I don't wanna have to say Tinker every single time I use it. I wanna have to say TK. So I'm giving it a nickname. The nickname is TK. And then inside of Tinker, there's actually this really nice module, right? Basically, which is the TTK wrapper, right? TTK, right? And TTK is basically just it's just basically gonna allow you to modernize a little more your Tinker. I don't really know how to explain it properly, but you're gonna understand later on what I mean by that. So we're gonna import one more thing, which is from Tinker, import message box, just in case we wanna use a message box. A message box is just like a little box that appears on your screen, right? And has a message on it. That's why it's called a message box. Um, we're also gonna import OS. So let's import OS real quick. Okay, and that it's just a library that allows us to deal with your OS, right? Which your OS is basically your operational system, like what kind of OS you have, like, right? So Windows, whatever, whatever your OS is, right? From here, we are actually gonna separate this a little bit. So these, and now I'm gonna use hashtag because it's not something that's big. I'm gonna call these GUI, the GUI modules. I'm gonna actually call these the GUI imports, and these is all part of standard libraries. We're also gonna import random. So let's actually put it below. From random import randint, uniform, and choice. I'm not gonna explain to you guys what each one of these functionalities do, but basically random is a library that allows you to create random values or do things with random values basically. We're also gonna import from time import sleep, which basically is a function that allows you to sleep your application for a little bit of time, right? For like 2 seconds, for example, right? Gives it a little cooldown basically before it performs its next action. We're also going to import from threading, import thread, which basically thread is a little more advanced, but it basically allows you guys to do multiple things at the same time, right? Your computer has different threads, so it allows you to do multiple things at the same time. Similar to multiprocessing, but it's not exactly the same thing. Again, I'm not a professional in this area, so I cannot explain to you in simpler terms what that means. All right, so now let's talk about our non-standard libraries. So one library that you're gonna have to install, right, for us to do everything that we're doing. And again, you don't have to use this library. They're all the libraries that you're gonna be able to use, and if I have time, I'll talk about them. But one library is gonna be the keyboard library. So these are non-standard libraries. Okay, or I can just say external libraries. I'll just say that because technically speaking, external, you need to download them from pip, right? From pip, right? You type pip on the cmd pip install, right? So to do this, you do pip install library. You open the cmd. So first open cmd to type pip install library, right? So the libraries I'm gonna mention here, the libraries that we're gonna utilize here is keyboard. So import keyboard. This very good library allows you guys to do things with your keyboard, right? Such as press, wait for key, and things like that, right? We still need a library to move the mouse and do everything with the mouse. We can use we can use a bunch of different libraries for that actually. We can use the mouse library, which I don't think I have installed. Yeah, I don't. Let me install it real quick. With PyCharm, you can actually just when you don't have a library installed, it's gonna be red, like you guys just saw, and you can just go over and install. And you can also use PyInputs, right? I think I have that one. Yeah, I do have that one. Or you can use Win32 API. These are some of the most common oh, you can also use PyAutoGui actually to move your mouse. PyAutoGui. I don't think I have that one. So this is a good example. So for you to install a library, all you need to do is go on top of it, right? Install package right here. Then you wait. PyAutoGui is a big library, so I'm gonna have to wait some time. Now, something very important. You want this to work with games, right? And some games have good protection against some of these libraries. So I'm gonna type here, in my opinion, the libraries that are the slowest libraries and the most unsafe libraries. So PyAutoGui is definitely one of the slowest libraries here, in my opinion. Okay, and it's also not very safe. So I'll say unsafe. Okay, Win32 API is fast enough, right? And it's medium in terms of safety. PyInput is fast, right? And it's pretty safe for some most games. Mouse is very fast and safe. Okay. So of course I'm not gonna talk about keyboard. Keyboard in general is quite safe. So these are the mouse these are the libraries for moving your mouse, right? So these ones are mouse movement. And these ones is keyboard stuff. Alright, nice. So you guys can pick any one of these libraries. Now I don't recommend that you have all four of them. I'm actually going to use each one of them. So let's actually begin with mouse first. Wow, this is a 20 minutes video already. So let's go ahead and actually just begin doing our interface. Okay. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna actually build a class interface. Okay. And in this class, we're actually going to inherit from two different things. We're going to inherit from tk.tk, okay? And we're also going to inherit from thread. These two inherits, I don't know how to say that. Anyways, it's going to allow us to basically, this one's going to allow us to do the whole layout thing, the whole GUI thing. And the thread is going to allow us to perform the layout in a different thread in comparison to our mouse movement or anything else that we need to do, okay? I know that it's a little complicated to put everything together right now, but when this is done, you're gonna understand what I mean and why I did everything I did. So, and I'm gonna try to explain to you guys as I go along. So we're gonna define here init. Init's basically the method, right? That's gonna initialize your class. So as soon as a class is initialized, this is the function that goes that does everything, right? The init class, init function method. When you don't actually define this, right, Python's gonna automatically do it for you, but you don't want that. Nice. So what we're gonna do is here we're gonna type args and key arguments, just in case when we're defining this, just in case when we're initializing this class, the object, right? Somebody wants to pass arguments. All right, cool. So now what we're gonna do is so this is how we initialize interface. Now we need to initialize these two classes over here. So let's do that right now. So let's do tk.tk.init self. And let's also do thread.init self. Okay, so that's how we initialize it in this parent class. All right, nice. So here is when we begin the fun. Oh, let me just do something real quick. Args, key args. Okay, thread does not need the arguments. All right, so nice. So now what we're gonna do is very simple. What we're gonna do now is define the title for our program. Self.title. Okay, and I'm gonna type here tutorial recoil. Let's actually get out of the class now, and let's do if name equals main. So if the person is executing this Python file directly, right? Then we're gonna do everything we need to do, which is app equals to interface. We do not want to pass in any arguments. If you did, then you just pass the arguments right here. Okay, we're passing the arguments inside, and we're gonna do app.run. That should run the thread, and we're gonna do app dot, I believe, yeah, main loop right there. So app dot main loop, and that's actually how you do everything. App dot run is gonna run the thread, and app dot main loop is actually gonna run the actual GUI interface. So let's go ahead and execute this. So to execute this, you can go to the top right, and you can click on run layout, or you can just type Ctrl Shift F10. Okay. And there you go. We have our application right here, just like the beginning of the video. Okay, exactly the same thing. There's no difference whatsoever. So in just 39 lines, we're able to do this really, simple interface, right? This interface is gonna look differently, depending what OS you're doing, but you're most likely doing this in Windows. So that's it for this video, guys. If you like the video, don't forget to like. In the next video, we're gonna actually add a few more functionalities in here. We're gonna add our buttons, a few buttons, a few check buttons over here, just to get everything started. And we're actually gonna create a new file too, okay? Because if you don't want to have all your code in one file, you want to separate it in between files, right? All right, guys. So thank you for watching this video. Have a great time.